Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, day 3 or 4 of working on the craft room. I've got another section of flooring down and was able to move the big, tall cubby thing onto the new flooring without any problems. I'm hoping today we'll get her stuff off her table so I can move the table out of my way so I can do another section of flooring and then move the table on there. So I'm hoping by the end of today I'll have half to 3/4 of the room done before my back decides to quit on me. I am taking the pain medication that the doctor gave me prophylactically, so it won't, hopefully my back won't be too much of a problem. But I know me, once I get into the groove of doing whatever I'm doing, I don't have any sense of pain or anything like that. I just have a sense of accomplishing and finishing and doing my project and not worrying about pain. It's either when it's extremely bad or I'm done and trying to stand up and straighten out my body and whatnot that I start to notice the pain and go, okay, I guess it's time for another painkiller, which I don't really like because, like Jerry, I'm somewhat afraid of getting used to having the pain pills to deal with the pain, but at the same time, I'm leery of being addicted to the painkiller and making sure I have no pain whatsoever. So I'm kind of like, got to do what I got to do to keep going, basically. If you're wondering what I'm drinking, it's a V8 energy drink, pomegranate blueberry. It's very tasty and it does give me energy. It helps wake me up. I'm actually happy with my last video because a lot of the comments that I got were really nice comments, and it's a combination of I want to do more cooking videos and I want to just I do what I do to keep myself happy. Yes, food that I make is for feeding the family. Sometimes it's something I already know. I've already recorded. I have to look back at some of my videos because I was thinking about doing some more recordings. Actually, I have that one cookbook that I got for my birthday, I think it was, and it was called Scandi Kitchen or something like that. It's basically a Scandinavian food recipe book, and I looked at some of the recipes and I'm like, I can't get those ingredients here. I'd have to figure out how to substitute it. Mom's not a big fish person. Jerry is, yeah, she likes the fluke and flounder from when she was growing up. She's not a big salmon fan. I've tried lox, which is basically the salmon that we used to get in New York. It was called lox, even though if you're from the military, you know a different translation for lox. So it's one of those like, not a really big fan of salmon. The only way I've ever had salmon that I actually liked was when it was grilled, seasoned and grilled, basically. That's the only time I've ever had salmon that I enjoy. The smoked salmon that you get in packs, that stuff is you either gotta eat it right away or it starts to get like this fishy film type gook in the package, and that's when the salmon it kind of goes flavor like just flavorless and I don't know another way I can describe it as slimy. That's probably because of the packaging and whatnot and how long it's, how long it's been in the package type deal. I'm sorry, I'm very thirsty this morning. I've already had a cup of coffee, and that did not satisfy my thirst. But yeah, no, I had fun with that cooking. Granted, the recipe that's on the container itself, it just gives you measurements. It doesn't say. Basically, it says, how many cups of water, bring it to a boil, add your oats, add salt, and then boil it down until it's basically all the water is gone. But the adding of the brown sugar and the cinnamon or whatever you want to put into it is not on the box. It might have a suggestion or two, but usually it's just like for brown sugar and cinnamon oatmeal. The other ingredients I added at the end of the cooking process, like blueberries and cream, that's not on the box. My applesauce was not on the box. I'm pretty sure if you go to a website for the Quaker, oats, they'll probably have all kinds of different recipes and methods and who knows what else. But yeah, you can do a lot of different things with oats. I mean, sometimes I'll take the oats and toast them in the bottom of a frying pan, and then put egg on top of that to make the Nordic omelet that I made a couple times. There's all different things you can use oats for. It's a very versatile, hearty grain, or ancient grain as some people will call them. And somebody actually put in one of the comments suggesting using steel oats for an overnight oat recipe. And I've never tried anything like that. It's something I might look into because, like somebody else said, and I don't know if it was the same person or not, but they basically said that you can make a batch of oatmeal in the crock pot and put them into individual dishes, like like Tupperware dishes or Lock and Locks or whatever. And then, the next day, just add a little bit of water, throw them in a microwave, heat them up, and put your other ingredients in it, and go ahead and eat it. It's like probably one of the healthiest morning meals you can have, short of like eggs and ham or omelet, or however you like your eggs, with some sort of protein side dish like sausage or baked ham, fried ham, however you want to put it, bacon, whatever you like. Yeah, but the only thing I wouldn't eat, well, it's not that I wouldn't eat, but I have a difficult time cooking because I either overcook it or undercook it. Of course, if it's undercooked but still healthy enough to eat, I'll eat that. I don't like hard, crunchy, overcooked bacon. Mom loves crunchy bacon. I mean, okay, yeah, it's overcooked. Nobody wants to eat it. Crumble it up, put it in a Ziploc bag, and use it for salad topping or something along that line. I've done that. I'm gonna apologize again for drinking in front of everybody. I'm very thirsty this morning. Might have to have a cup of tea later. I don't know. But it rained last night and washed away all my snow. I like seeing the snow on the ground. I really do. Yeah, the weather's been wacky lately. Today it's like 10 o'clock is going to be 34 degrees. 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock is going to dip down back down to 32. Then by midday, it's going to jump back up into to the mid. The temperature is supposed to start rising, and by about 4 or 5 p.m., it's supposed to be in the mid 40s. And I'm like, never seen temperature do that in a long time. But that's just the way the world has been lately. It's been weird. But yesterday I did the work in the craft room, and Jerry came out in her rollator and just to check to see what was going on, because she hadn't heard anything from me. Well, that's because I was busy working, and usually when I get busy doing a project that I know I can do pretty much by myself, I lose track of time, I lose track of pain, I lose track of the world around me. I'm just ultra focused on doing my job without messing it up. But Jay came in there, took a couple snapshots of me doing the work, and we emptied out her large. Well, what we did was actually took the totes out of the big one, put it in the new one that she had me build, so I can move the big one so I can do more carpeting. And she was surprised I was able to do it myself, and I was like, no surprise. And once I realized it was mounted up against the wall, just took the mounting screws out, pulled it away from the wall, and just slid it over to where it needed to go. It's not that difficult. For me, anyhow, it doesn't take much effort. It just, pulling it away from the wall, angle it to where I want to go. If it slides easily, I can pull it without any problems, get it to where I want it to be, just get it out of the way to do carpeting. She had me bring some of my drafting stuff with me into the bedroom, because she has all the measurements and whatnot for the furniture in the room. And she sat down to she drew a, outline of the room, and was trying to figure out, where to place everything after the floor is done. And my brain was sitting there going, you're worried about that now? Why don't you worry about it, after the flooring is done? Because then it will be much easier to slide stuff around without a headache. Well, she was like, she was worried that she didn't have enough flooring tiles. And I went, we measured it all out. Why is there not enough tile? Why do you think that? Because my brain is going, that's a defeatist attitude. Don't think about it. Just get done what you can get done. But I'm hoping to work more on that, because it's just, I want it done before the week. My deadline for that room to be done has already been overshot. But I just want it done so I have at least Thursday and Friday. Well, Thursday we have to go to St. Louis for her appointment, but I want at least Friday, Saturday to get in here and try to straighten it up and whatnot. And come Monday when I go back to work, I don't have to worry about stressing of when am I going to get my stuff done. So we'll see how things go. It depends on my back and how she can help me, because she can't really do much. I think we have a basic idea or plan of how we're doing it. It's just doing it. So, yeah. But I'm happy so far. I'm happy we're getting it done. So what if my space is either an after work or weekend project? We're not tearing up carpeting in here, so it's just a matter of cleaning, decluttering, and organizing, and then decorating. So I got my work cut out for me, but at least I'm doing it. I'm happy with myself. Jerry's happy with the fact that it's getting done. And she's already excited about it getting done so she can go in there and do her vlogging and her crafting and recording her crafting and all that fun jazz. So, yeah, it's getting done. As for Jerry's, well, yesterday Jerry was pretty chipper, and I don't know if it's because of the fact that she is getting excited by the fact that her craft room is getting worked on and done. I just have to monitor my energy and my pain and whatnot so I don't run out of steam. Because yesterday trying to cook was like, no, I don't really feel up to it. And of course, as soon as I said that, Jerry was all like, oh, mom said she was going to eat her leftover roast beef sandwich for dinner. Let's get Taco Bell, because she's been jonesing Taco Bell. And I just kind of went, do we have the money? She's like, yeah, I got enough on one of her credit cards or whatever to get Taco Bell. And I'm like, okay, because, my biggest concern is paying the bills. I've got food in the house. I just have to have the energy and whatnot to make dinner. And yesterday I must have done something too long or too hard because my back was just out of whack the rest of the day. And I couldn't take a painkiller when I wanted to because I had already taken one around noonish, because I'm supposed to be taking it 3 times a day according to the bottle. But even if I were to follow the doctor's orders, which was one a day, or not one a day, but as necessary is what she said. So I'm just kind of like, okay. Well, if the doctor wanted me to take it as necessary, the bottle would not be marked 3 times a day. It would just be PRM. PRM? Per needed? I don't know. But, yeah. The only downside that I noticed yesterday about the pain pill was it does, if I'm already exhausted, it makes it even more, it makes me even more exhausted. Luckily no dizziness, just tired, drowsiness. That's about it so far. And that was one of the common side effects according to the bottle, so yeah. I might have to do a little bit more research, sorry. But Jerry had a rough night, so we had both woken up at like, I don't know, 2:30, 3 o'clock. It seems like our need to use the facilities are syncing up, where anytime she wakes up to go to the restroom, or in her case the commode, I get that need to go to the restroom. So when that happened, she had basically told me, no, that was at 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometime between 3 and 4. She had told me she had just barely started to fall asleep when she had the need to go to the restroom. And I was half asleep because I had to go. Yeah, I know I said I don't do any bathroom talk. Well, at least I'm not getting into detail. Anyhow, she had told me that she couldn't sleep last night. To just basically, when my alarm goes off, to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, just to leave her be, to let her sleep. And I said, no problem. Sure. Okay. I'll try not to wake you up. Well, when my alarm went off, I jerked awake because, when you're at that stage of what they call REM cycle sleep, or REM sleep, however you want to call it, um, things can wake you up easier, especially, something that's not expected or familiar. Told you guys I was very thirsty this morning. But still getting sleeping. I got up and my alarm or jerking awake did not seem to disturb her, and I realized why. She had her earbuds in with a Harry Potter movie playing on her phone. It's like we watched Harry Potter so many, or she's watched Harry Potter so many times. Granted, I've watched it a couple times myself, but she's watched it so many times that it's either good background sound while she's doing a project, or something to help her sleeping if she's not doing any projects or doing anything that requires her to be awake. So she'll fall asleep to a Harry Potter movie. I can't fall asleep with anything in the background that flickers or the scenery changes rapidly or something along that line. I can't do that no more. It's like my brain, if I hear anything while I'm asleep that's unfamiliar, it activates a part of my brain that searches for the sound, tries to analyze the sound, tries to figure out the sound, and make sure it's not something that needs me to jump up out of bed for. I can think and process faster when I'm half awake, half asleep than I can when I'm awake. I don't know why. But no, Jerry's snoozing right now. I'm pretty sure once she wakes up, if I'm not doing something cleaning or something of that nature, she'll ring my phone like, "Where are you? I need you." All right, fine. I'm a-coming. Because a lot of times if I'm not there in bed with her and she wakes up, she starts to go into a panic mode because, like, he's not working. He's not here in the room. I don't know where he is. Let's give him a ring or text message or whatever to say, "Hey, I'm awake." Yeah, so am I. Good going. What's next? But since I already know what projects I need to do around the house, some of it I can do without her. In fact, most of it I can do without her. I got some dishes to put away, and then dishes to clean up and put in the dishwasher. I can work on the stuff that we talked about in her craft room. It's just moving stuff around so I can get a piece of furniture moved. I was telling her the other day that when we're going to start putting stuff back in the office, you need to go through it and decide what to do with it, and then if you're going to keep it or purge it. And she's like, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, "Okay, well, good. Let's do it. Let's not just sit there and go, yeah, I know." Most of the stuff that's piled up in here still is either I got to put it in bags or boxes to take to Goodwill or something, because most of it is giveaway, except for my tools and those quilts and this bag for Christmas wrapping paper and whatnot that I didn't get put away. But I realized yesterday when I was in here looking around going, most of the stuff except for what's on the buffet is giveaway. At least I'm pretty sure it's giveaway. So I have to double check with the boss. If you're from New York, you might know what that acronym is. I don't usually say that about my wife, but lately it's just been like, make up your mind, please. Am I doing this or am I doing that? And I gotta sit down on the computer sometime today and work on a few different things. I have to do the thing so the unemployment office is happy with the thing I'm doing, even though I've only got about a week before I go back to work. A week and a day. And yeah, I know we've had to tighten our belt because of the holidays and whatnot, which we always have to do around the holidays. It's not about how much money we have or how much income we have or anything like that. It's just the fact that we like to, even though it's just the three of us, we like to throw a nice party for three. Even though it's more like a party for two. I mean, I'm pretty sure if we sat down to play games of one form or another, as long as it's not Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that, Mom loves playing Clue. I would love to be able to get a good game of, not Clue, excuse me. Mom likes Monopoly. I don't think we've played Clue together in a long time. We've got card games like Skip-O, which is another form of Uno. Dominoes, not like the dominoes that most people play, but we have a domino game called Quadominoes, where it's a little block or triangle with 3 numbers, or if it's Quadominoes, it's squares with 4 numbers. And you got to match the number to the number that's been placed on the table until somebody runs out of tiles. Not a big Scrabble fan, so we haven't played Scrabble in a while, even though I can every so often get a good word or two in. But yeah, we play various games. We haven't in a while because it hurts Jerry to sit too long at the table, because then the shell starts digging into her hips, which is not good. But she comes out, not really on a regular basis, but sometimes she'll save up her energy and stay in the bedroom and not wear the shell unless she's going to be sitting up for long periods of time. Excuse me. That's what I get for chugging beverages, or a bit of gas. A bit of belching, not the other type. But yeah, when Jerry comes out, it's great because, it not only makes her, feel a little bit more independent because of the fact that she's moving about the house, even though sometimes it can be somewhat difficult because trying to get that rollator to go where she wants to go with one good foot, which I keep on telling her, you need to, even if you're not bending the hip, you need to try to use your right leg to help move you about. And then she wants to go, well, the doctor said no pressure. Exactly, no pressure. You're not really putting pressure on the leg because you're not standing and walking. You're sitting and pushing yourself. You can use both legs to do that, for crying out loud. You're not really putting a lot of pressure on any place. But our biggest concern, besides going to the doctors and whatnot, is the scar or incision location is getting like sores around it, especially on one side of it. And we're really concerned about that because her younger brother, when he had an accident with other family members in the car, and he took the brunt of it, basically. He had to have a rod and pin in his arm because of how busted up the arm was. But his body was rejecting the screws or the pins, however you want to put it. And it caused, I don't know what the doctors did, but it caused a divot in his arm because of that. And of course, my brother-in-law being the way he was, good old Robert, his first tattoo was what looked like a hole-in-one golf tattoo, just to cover up, kind of like to cover up and make fun of the divot. So it was an interesting tattoo, but smart the way he got it done. I'm surprised they allowed him to get a tattoo over a scar like that, because, you know, how you have to get a tattoo. But no, that was like one of his first tattoos, and he did that while he was up in college at Buffalo, New York. But she's got like sores or whatnot, scabbing sores over areas that, if you look at the X-ray and look at where these sores or whatnot are, it's like right over where the pins are, or the screws, in her lower leg. And then she's got one on her mid leg, the middle scar. Has got this little, it's not on the scar, but it looks like it shoots away from the scar, that is giving her problems. And then there's the upper one doesn't really, it has one or two little sores, but nothing major. I think that's just because of the shell rubbing into her leg right above the scar. So I told Jerry, you need to take a note of that and talk to their doctors when we get up there into St. Louis, because one, if it is something to do with the screws, they need to do something. They need to do something to rectify the situation. I'd hate to have her go back under the knife or something like that, but what's the alternative? What can they do to deal with that without having to do surgical procedures? Haven't really talked much to Jerry Ann about what may or may not happen when we go up there Thursday, but I'm kind of hoping the doctor say yes, you can walk around, but because you don't have the muscle strength or muscle control, that will help you move your foot faster. But I'm hoping they say you can go home and walk, but don't try to drive, because I don't want to have to get into an argument with her about, no, you can't drive because you don't have enough strength in that leg, because you've been basically not doing anything with it for near 2 months. So that's a lot of like atrophy and maybe atrophy is not the word I'm looking for. She basically needs to put that leg through PT. I mean, hardcore PT, in order for her to be able to have the muscle tone or strength or whatnot to move her leg fast enough. Of course, she's all like, well, I'm bound and determined to drive again, even if I have to use a hand control dealie to use gas and brake pedals, like people who are basically handicapped to the point where they can't use their legs, or the right leg is not there anymore. They have to have a handheld control system, unless they get a car from Britain and everything's on the opposite side. I don't know. But it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm gung-ho and whatnot for her to be able to get her independence and be able to drive and do all the things that she wants to do without fear of hurting herself any further because of I'm hoping the doctor says, yeah, you can walk with a walker. No driving, no operating heavy equipment until your leg was strong enough to hold you up. Of course, knowing Jerry the way Jerry is, she'll be bound and determined to do it no matter what. Because that's, she's been jonesing to walk. She's getting tired of using a rollator and whatnot. And I'm like, if the doctor says you can walk but not drive, hey, take that. That's a win. And then just do what the doctor suggests for PT or whatnot to strengthen your leg muscle. Because I see her trying to get out of bed and whatnot, and she's trying not to move. She's not trying to bend or operate that leg. And I'm like, I am pretty sure the doctor would have let you use your leg to get out of bed or move around as long as you're not standing. Because I think that's the main thing, is they don't want her to put pressure at her. They don't want her to bear her full weight on it, but they want her to be able to manipulate the leg, I'm pretty sure. Because I don't remember the doctor saying no pushing with the leg. All I remember is the doctor saying no weight, no full weight bearing. And if you do have to bear any weight to get in and out of bed or out of chairs and whatnot, to be like toe touch only, like you're walking on eggshells type deal. So I'm like, okay, I heard that. So it's like, you can still use your leg. You can still bend at the knee and push with your leg, as long as you're not putting full pressure or too much pressure on the leg itself. Doctor basically said you can use that leg, but toe touch only, no weight bearing. So it's kind of like, okay. But she wants to take it like the doctor told her not to push with it. The doctor just basically said, no weight bearing. I know I repeated that several times, but that's the point, is the fact that the doctor doesn't want her to put her full weight on it, but she can still like push with it. She can get up on it as long as she's not flat footing. She's just toe touching. But the thing is when you've got a repaired hip on one side because it was cracking a tumor spot on the other side of the hip, it's kind of like, what do I do? Because if this side gets worse than it already is, there's a chance of it cracking. Well, if it does, let the doctors know, and they'll do what they have to do to she's supposed to be getting, on Thursday, she's supposed to be getting a full exam to see how well the bones are, and the doctor will determine if the bones are strong enough for her to bear weight on it so she can start walking. She is getting her radiation treatment. She's still doing her chemo medication. She's also still doing her gabapentin 3 times a day. Radiation treatment, the radiation pill, I think, is once a day, as well as calcium boosting medication, and all the other stuff the doctor said to go for. The doctors did take her off the off of her diabetic medication because whether it was something they did at the hospital or just the fact that they're treating, the gabapentin plus the chemo treatment, her A1Cs have leveled out, so she doesn't need the diabetes medication anymore, but she still checks her still checks the blood, does the blood test and whatnot with the little machine and whatnot, just to keep track of it. That's why she has the doctors are basically saying she can eat normally. She doesn't have to follow any specific diet, but we're still trying to follow a healthy diet, whether it's basically what she's been doing is like every other day she'll have a carb day where she'll eat some carbs just to have that energy from the carbs. But for the most part, we're not eating carbs every day. Every other day she'll eat carbs. She'll have a carb day. Like, I think today is a carb day, which is good because I am going to make my Aunt Helen's Parmesan chicken, which I might record because I don't remember if I recorded that or not. But health-wise, today looks like it might be one of those days where it's like I won't know until she wakes up. And being she had a rough night last night, I'm not going to disturb her. I'm probably going to, once I get off this, is try to sort through some of the stuff and throw it in the back of the van. Oh, if I throw it in the back of the van, I have to take it to Goodwill before Thursday so I can get her rollator in the car. Because if the doctors say it's okay to use that as long as you're taking it easy, if he says that she can walk, because the wheelchair has to go back to the medical supply place in St. Louis, which will be awesome. Of course, if something does happen, she has the capacity to sit in the rollator and either take a break or let me push. The only thing I'm worried about when it comes to rollator is there's one of the arms, the screw-in pin thing to keep the arm from sliding down is, well, I'm thinking it's stripped because it does not want to screw in place. So I have to either try to find a way to fix that so it doesn't wiggle loose, causing problems with the armature. Probably going to take that white tape stuff that goes around water pipes and screw it in place. That will probably do its job, and hopefully if we have to bring the arms down, it won't be that difficult. So yeah, that's going to be it's going to be a fun thing. But yeah, that's about everything today. I mean, I will try to put this online here in a moment and then get to doing my other stuff. So if you have a good day, enjoy. Actually, hopefully you have a good week ahead of you. I know some of you are probably like, not really, I got to go back to work. We got to do what we got to do, but hopefully hopefully it will be a good week and not too troublesome. Oh, I'm about ready to turn it off like I'm done. Still waking up. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments about this video, go ahead and put it in. I will try to address them as best as I can. Excuse me, my nose is starting to get itchy. If you're new to my channel and like some of the things I talked about, I'm hoping once I get this room cleaned up and I can start to focus on what I want to do, we'll get back to book readings or discussions about things that I'm reading or researching or just whatever. Maybe I'll even try to record what I'm doing in here once I'm done with the craft room. because like I said, most of the stuff in here is probably going to Goodwill, because I don't know what else to do with it all. But anyhow, we'll see what happens in the near future. I'm hoping by week's end, by basically next weekend, I'll have everything done. Cross my fingers. Anyhow, if you choose to hit the subscribe button, you can do that. Once you hit the subscribe button, a little bell pop up and you can get notified when I put my next video in. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye.